Hello, and let's have a look today how to connect easy8 application with Keycloak over the SSO. So I will firstly jump into the admin section in easy8 in order to get to the configuration of the SSO. In the side menu, there is a easy SSO. And here you have to firstly create a new identity provider. So just hit on this one and just fill it in. I have already created the one for the Keycloak, and we can have a look on it. So just the name, the Keycloak logically, and then I have installed the Keycloak on my legacy server and on the specific port, so it's available on this URL. And plus, these data should be filled in based on the configuration in a Keycloak. So I will jump into the Keycloak itself, and the first step is to create the realm, and it has to have such a name. So I just put there like a easy8. And it's actually visible in here. It already exists, and I'm within that realm already. Yeah. And then the next step is to create the new client. It's also super simple. So you just hit on the client, you pick the protocol. I just pick the OAuth in order to keep it more simpler, but you can for sure use the SAML. It's up to you. But you have to fill in there for example, the client ID. It's just the text, so like some string. And another fields. And what are the another fields? So I have already done it in here. I have a client which is called easy8. We can click on it. So as mentioned, client ID, easy8, name. And what is the important is especially the valid redirect URL. So here you can see like there is a URL address of my easy8 instance, and there is a star. So it's just only for the testing approach. So you will put there the whole path, but in my case, it's just allowing all of the HTTP addresses from that server. And yeah, so you have to fill in the root URL, home URL, the logout URL for sure, but for my test, it's not necessary. And then web origin, just put there the star if you are using it for the test approach. And then another important like attribute what you have to get in from the Keycloak is as a client secret. So you have to hit on the credentials, and then the system will generate you the client secret. And then afterwards, you can copy this data and place it in a easy8. So first of all, client ID. Let's get back to the client. Here is a client ID, so it has to match 1-to-1. Secret token, that's exactly the token within the credentials. Client secret, so you have to copy it and place it in here, right? Authorized URL. I have a full path in here. It's not necessary, but yeah, so you can use just the part of it. But be aware that it has to really match, including the name of the client ID, right? Same as well as for the token URL, and then for the user data URL, right? So it's relatively simple. Scope, I have kept the default one, and then I checked like on the fly creation of the users. So my intention is to be able to create a brand new user within the easy8 using the Keycloak, right? So the someone who is using the easy8 will try to authenticate over the Keycloak, and it will automatically create the user. And then sign in button, so it will be visible on the home page. So we will have a look on it in a second. So how does it look like in a reality? But firstly, we have to be sure that the user exists. So Keycloak in this case will play the role as an AD. Of course, it's usually used as a let's so-called middle layer between the AD and the final application. But in my case, I'm using it as an AD. So I have just the evidence of the user, like a test user. And then for sure, there are certain credentials like a password. So don't forget to use it. There is such an email filled in. And then we can try to create that user automatically within the easy8. So how to do that? Switch to the easy8. I will log out from the system. And now I will try to log in again. And now I will hit on the button. So this is the sign in button, what we have seen in the configuration. So if you hit on it and everything is working fine, so you will be redirected towards to the sign in homepage of the Keycloak. And here we have to pass the name of the user, right? So as you have seen, I created the dummy user, and then with a dummy password, boom. And then if everything is well configured, so then the attributes will be populated towards to the easy, and it will automatically create a user. Same as well in here, right? So this is a test user, what I have created in the Keycloak. So we can cross-check it. And so here you can see like the name and the last name, and it's matching with the name and the last name in a easy8 right now. So the user exists, and we were authenticated towards to the easy over the Keycloak.